So, um, we gathered here today to talk some League of Legends, to talk about Worlds.
Yeah, boy,
Uh,
I'm excited.
yeah, I think this will be a banger over here. Um, so I'm just gonna start and say that if you're listening to this not live, then just know that we are filming this live on Twitch, so you can come follow and watch there. We will answer questions and talk to you guys. So if you're watching this or hearing this not live, then just know it is a possibility. If you like, I will tweet about it and post about it. But let's just jump straight into business. And I want to talk about the first of all, before we jump into Worlds, the two new champions that we just got gifted for some, hated by others, into the League of Legends.
Mostly hated, gotta
Yeah.
say.
Of course, I'm talking about Samira and Yone, which are both like one is Yasuo 2.0 and the other is also Yasuo kind of 2.0. I mean, mixed together with Katarina, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, what was your guys' experience with these champions so far?
Do you wanna go?
yeah,
Happy.
sure. Well, first of all, I'll start with the Samira because obviously she's the worst one for me. I feel like Riot just I don't know had some bounce and I don't know they broke so many memes with this champion. I mean, everyone just hates Windwall, for example, from Yasuo, and they were
Yeah.
and I know someone in Riot was like, well, how can we piss the community so hard again and release an ADC with the Windwall? Yeah, I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they released this champion, but I actually liked that the nerfs came in pretty fast for Samira, and they were like I don't know, they removed 80 max HP. I mean, it was pretty big, but she's still pretty obnoxious and kinda. I mean, she's pretty fun, but she's not really fun to play against. That's what I'm trying to say here.
um, I didn't play much Yone as him or against him, but Samira, I did play. I did try her, and I think that in lane she's really strong, but in team fights it's really hard to perform with her.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's my experience, yeah, but I played her only after the nerf, after the hot patch.
Mhm.
So I don't know how she was before that, but she's pretty fun in lane. Yeah, she's really she has great follow up and great damage, but I don't know. I really don't know how she can perform in team fights.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I myself spammed Yone. Like probably 90% of my games were Yone or trying to get him. And I absolutely love this champion. I I just he feels really fun to play as, but I can definitely see why people don't want to play against him. He is pretty strong once you know how to play him. But the biggest thing for me is like if I'm comparing to Yasuo, is that his mobility is only good when he's ahead. Like his E is really strong, really busted. If you're the one engaging, if you're the one catching people, and I didn't hear a lot of people talk about it, but something that feels really big and huge for me is the fact that he doesn't have the passive shield like Yasuo does. And it might seem small, but it actually makes laning against ranged champions or unfavorable matchups, it makes it really hard because you either lose CS and therefore you don't get gold to get your items, or you lose a lot of HP and then you can't really trade in lane and can't really fight. So I do see why people don't like him. I do think he is really hard to abuse early on with the correct champions and a good jungler. So I personally do love him. He's so fun to me.
I actually agree with you. I think Yone is like the healthier version of Yasuo. I feel like he's not so oppressive as Yasuo. I mean, if Yasuo gets ahead, he has all he needs is a minion wave to get to you, and actually trade with you or kill you, for
Hmm.
example. But with Yone, all he has is E ability, and yes, it does gives him a lot of movement speed, but it's not as high mobility creep like Yasuo.
Yeah.
That I don't know. That's what
it's not an yeah,
I mean. You got me there, yeah.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
feel like his ultimate is pretty big.
Yeah.
That's what makes this champ is like. I mean, that's what makes him really good. I feel like this champion has a decent laning. Yes, he doesn't have the shield like Yasuo have, but if he has an even matchup, his scaling is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So, and I really like what Riot did. I mean, everyone was, I don't know, shouting in Reddit posts that Yone is broken and stuff like that, but they did not nerf him. They did not touch him until they saw his win rate, and yeah, now he has a pretty decent win rate. So the nerfs are coming, obviously, but they didn't like panic nerf or panic buff
Yeah.
any of his abilities. So that's what I like
like
about Riot.
Samira.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Samira. Samira deserved it. So Samira was
Yeah,
released,
yeah,
and she was like 49 percent win rate on release. That's
yeah.
insane.
I saw the statistics. Yes.
Yeah, I think the thing with Smira is that she just has so much in her kit. Like her passive, the grade she gets also give her 3.5 movement speed, and her ultimate is technically on 3 seconds cooldown. Yeah, you gotta get the S rank first, but like when you're late game team fighting, your Q is on a ridiculously low cooldown, so you can do an auto attack Q auto attack, which is already three
Yeah.
stacks for the grade. So like technically in a team fight, you can get two ults off, maybe even more, which is honestly kind
The,
of strong considering it's a catapult that actually moves with you.
yeah, but she has low range, and that depends on the enemy team too. If
Yeah,
they have much CC, it's really hard to execute.
yeah.
Really.
I did heard people say like it's basically an AD carry Katarina, which has some point to it. Because if you hard CC her, she's dead. It's just
Yeah.
that it's a bit harder to hard CC her because of her win.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, we don't have to worry about these two champions for Worlds because well, Riot won't put them to Worlds. Like they already said that both Yone and Samira wouldn't be played. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess that's one less thing to worry about. But speaking of World, like usually when we get Worlds, we already had MSI, we had Rift Rivals, we had All Stars event, we had events where the international teams could challenge each other and see their play level. And to this year, because of COVID-19, we all suffered from it to some extent.
Still suffering.
This year we didn't have an event where we can see how our regional teams do internationally, and it's only the playing stage where we started to see the teams from different regions play against each other. So how do you feel it will play into the minds of players and teams coming into this group stage in tomorrow actually?
I think it's already has an effect on the worlds, since we saw Mad Lions coming from an online season
Hmm.
to an on-stage season, and they fucked up.
Yeah.
Basically.
So yeah, it's really hard. I think the veterans will still perform, but we'll have to see about the rookies. How will they perform on stage? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching yesterday's Euphoria podcast,
Mhm.
and they interviewed Mac, who's the head coach of Mad Lions, and he said about the Mad Lion lose, um, and obviously going home from Worlds.
yeah,
He said that he's pretty happy about the what Mad Lions achieved this year. I
really.
mean, obviously it's a new organization. It's basically three rookies or four.
I
Four.
think
I
four.
think
Four
only
rookies, yeah,
Humanoid
four
was a
rookies.
pro.
Humanoid was the only veteran, and
Yeah.
Humanoid is playing for like, I don't know,
Ye-
1.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's second year. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was with
basically,
Splice.
it's a lineup that no one actually predicted that will do so well.
Yeah.
And he said that also they were playing online. They had like, I don't know, 3 or 4 games on stage. So this team just doesn't know how to play on stage, and the pressure actually got to them. And I can believe that actually. So I don't think the fact that Mad Lions went home means a lot about Europe.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta remember that Mad Lion had their fall in playoffs against Rogue. They lost
They
3-0.
yeah, they already started to lose in Europe. So
Yeah. So and they are the fourth seed
see.
from Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are the weakest seed from Europe. So I don't think it means much about Europe, and hopefully it won't. as a
Yeah.
as a Europe fan here.
Yeah. And like I was watching the series against what was the name? I forgot. But like I was watching the series where they lost, and
Supermassive, supermassive.
yeah, Supermassive, thanks. And they did have good moments there. They it was a 3-2 loss. Like they did win 2 games, and I think a lot of it came down to, as you said before, the inexperience. Like we saw a lot of team fights where Karzi on the Israel didn't do so well and they lost the team fights, and then we saw team fights he hit everything and absolutely smashed the vein that he was against, and they won that game. And like it really, I think, came down to what you said and how the coach put it down, like experience and just like these are, as you said, new players. Like it was their first year, and considering that it's their first year, I think it was an amazing run by them.
Yeah.
They did show some promise. I am a bit sad that they didn't move on, but that's just the way it is. And I think something similar happened with the LGD, who almost didn't qualify to the group stage. Like they were tied for last in their planes stage, and they had to win a tiebreaker. And then since there, it did get better. They did win the last series 3-0. So
Both
I'm
of the series, they won both
yeah,
of the series. Yeah.
yeah. So do you think it plays into their mind now going into groups like, holy shit, we almost didn't make it to plane through planes? Or do you think like they had a mental reset for when they played the both series and won them?
I mean, yeah, they almost got knocked out in the group stage, in the plane stage. So it was going into their first series. It was on their mental, oh, we almost knocked out. But I think after the both of their series, they are happy with that, and they will go with their heads up into group stage.
I mean, LGD since, I don't know, season 5 just can't stop disappoint me. I mean, every time I was like, before the playing stage, I was like, they're gonna smurf this, win this, get this 6-0 in the planes and go next. But I'm actually disappointed, and especially in Peanut. Peanut, he came in as a superstar jungler. I mean, everyone knows Peanut. Most of the analysts put him in their top 20 list for this World Championship,
Mhm.
and he literally played like crap in, in these games. I mean, for example, in this game against Unicorns of Love, um, both of his solo laners got solo kills, and he did not transition any of this to any objectives. It didn't get the Rift Herald. It didn't get the Dragon. I mean, it just can't happen, especially for a superstar jungler like Peanut. But after they 3-0'd both of the games and got into Group C, I actually have no idea how is it going to come out. I mean, LGD is obviously a good team, and they come from a good region, but I have no idea how they are going to play this. So we're gonna have to see.
Yeah. Group C is definitely a group to look out for. But before we talk about that, also like you mentioned the Unicorns of Love, and I think Team Liquid as well, with surprisingly good performances. Team Liquid, I think a lot of eyes were towards their mid laner and their jungler Broxa and Jensen, who haven't performed greatly. The At the end of the regular split in North America, and coming into the playing stage, both of them had really good performances. Broxa on the Graves there, I remember he was unkillable, and Jensen following on plays, like they both seemed on point, and we saw them take the first place from the group and actually insta move to group stage without doing the series, the best of 5 series to be promoted. So I think, like, is it a Team Liquid thing? Is it in North America suddenly being good? Like, what do you guys think about that?
I think that Team Liquid secretly been the most dominant team in North America. I think they are the best team in North America. But
Actually agree with you.
yeah, but I think they fell short in playoffs. Really. Um, but Plains is a bit how to say, lower tier teams, so you can say for sure that Team Liquid is so much better than the other NA representatives.
Mm-hmm.
I
Do you
think
have thoughts? Yeah.
I think Team Liquid got robbed from the NALCS championship. I feel like Liquid deserve it more than TSM.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Liquid is gonna perform pretty well this year. Um, I don't think they're gonna come out of their group because obviously G2 and Sunning are pretty great. But think about it this way: they have two ex-world champions, Core JJ and Impact,
Yeah.
and world champion finalist Broxa. A rookie ADC, tactical, but he looks pretty promising. And obviously Jensen in the mid lane, who's one of the best mid laners from North America. So I feel like Liquid, if they keep this momentum, they might even come out of their group and
Mm-hmm.
actually believe in them, and I think they can actually do it.
Yeah. And I
Wait,
mean, yeah.
Team Liquid had monster regular split, no?
They had a good regular split, and then as Crazy Brown Kid in the chat said, he agrees with you guys that they should have been the number one team from NA, but he didn't think they got robbed. They just didn't play good the playoffs, so he thinks that's the reason that they didn't deserve winning. But yeah, they had good regular split and then mediocre playoff.
Yeah, I mean, so they're gonna rock the best of ones. That's what you say.
They can, yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you look at their group, you have G2 Esports, which is like a European beast, right? But they also
Yeah.
seem to slip a lot of times and to make stupid mistakes. And G2 have their fair amount of criticism about how they play, and like most recently that they like only Caps is really playing well as of late. So you can definitely see a world where G2 slips up, right? And Team Liquid being able to grab a few free wins there, and Sunning might also make a mistake, and there is a world where Team Liquid does get out of this group. I do agree with you, Happy, that it's not likely to happen. G2 and Sunning should be the clear favorites, I
Favorites.
think,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't write Team Liquid out just yet.
Wait,
Um,
are we doing the predictions already?
oh no
For
no
the
no no
group?
no 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 no! I'm just talking about Team Liquid just a little bit, because as a Fnatic fan, Broxa is my man in the jungle. I have to give him some love, and he deserves that love, man. He played really well the last games. He did, like, he really showed up. Maybe the first game I think wasn't so good, but after that he definitely showed up. Another team on the rise is Unicorns of Love. they played absolutely amazingly. I think in the planes, it's just like fun to watch. And
Yeah,
if I'm
they
not
really.
mistaken, Swain bought one of their picks. They had like some young blood, and Shippy, former EU coach of Unicorns of Love as well. How do you guys
Yeah,
feel about their chances and like about the team, the
I'm
planes so far for them?
I'm really excited for Unicorns of Love. I think they can have upsets, and they play so fun to watch. Really, I can describe in words how excited I am for them. Really, and it's first no, it's the first time in 3 years that team from the CIS are coming into groups, right? From 4 years, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
since Albus
yes,
Nox, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's really exciting for the region too, and
yeah,
yeah, we'll see about their group. They have a pretty hard group though.
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Uh,
But like, yeah, yeah, happy.
I mean, unicorns. I'm actually so hyped to see them
Hmm.
because usually, teams from weaker regions like the LCL and Brazil and stuff like that had problems with the mechanics and their. I mean, you could see the individual difference between uh, their these teams and their players between the bigger region players. But this
Hmm.
time, I feel like unicorns have actually pretty good individual players, and they actually can click the buttons pretty well.
Yeah,
So it will come up with how they play as a team. Um, I do feel like they can actually come up of their group.
Yeah. And I mean, as you said, the Vagabond, they're so fun to watch. They're like a lot of people say they're magical, not only because they are unicorns. Like even going back to the days where Unicorns of Love were in Europe, every game they had against Fnatic was a total headbanger with like four different Nexus base race and backdoors and stuff. And even though the
yeah.
roster was completely changed except for their coach, they still feel the same. They feel magical. They feel exciting. They feel fun, and I really want to see them go out of this group stage. I definitely think it's gonna be hard for them, but they're magical, so maybe.
I mean, DRX underperformed in LCK, so maybe who
Yeah.
knows?
And other than that, like, well, we have Group C to talk about, and we'll get to that soon. But I think we can start talking about the predictions for the group stage. Sorry, I blanked there for a
wait,
moment.
Yeah, it's fine.
And
wait. So
yeah,
we're going to say our pick'ems, or are we going to say our predictions? Because it's two different things.
yeah, I agree with you. I think we will do both of them. Like
Okay.
unless you have something you want to say about one of the teams we haven't talked about, like PSG, which I think like there's not much to talk about PSG because well they just kind of smashed, I guess, and did what they were expected to do. I
Yeah, and we
think.
don't watch their region,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
To
we
be
don't
fair.
know much about them.
Yeah. So like I think we did cover most of the teams from the plains. So yeah, we can go for prediction. We'll start with prediction and then we'll finish up with the pick'ems. Um,
Okay.
Michael, you want to go first, Vagabond?
Um, I need to open just a second. I need to open my
We have Group
pick'ems.
A with Sunning, G2, Team Liquid, and Machi Esports.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think if I'll go with my prediction, it will be G2 first, Team Liquid second, Sunning third, and Machi last.
mhm,
I think there were some screams leaked that TSM and Fnatic and some other teams won against Sunning in scrims. I know that scrims don't mean so much, so I don't know, but I have a good feeling about Team Liquid.
mhm.
So yeah, I think G2, Team Liquid, then Sunning and Machi.
And
That's Group A.
I want to ask you a little bit about G2 being first because Uh,
Yeah,
as I said, like G2 tend to
They fumble. They fumble. Yeah.
fumble, yeah, definitely. So, do you still have faith in them to be first place in the group? Because,
So
yeah,
by logic, I said my predictions. I said by my logic, but by
yeah,
my pick'ems are different. I in my
mm,
pick'ems I placed Suning first, G2 second, Team Liquid third, and Machi last.
yeah,
So I will. I had this feeling in my predictions, but
mm.
we will see.
Yeah, I'm with you on the predictions with the pick'ems as well. But like it's also what I predict. Like I didn't see the scrims leaked, and as you said, it is different when you scrim versus when
Yeah,
you actually play. And like I do feel G2 have a really big and known issue, and a way to abuse it. They only play around caps, or at least this is what they did in Europe, unless they change it um, during the time between the LEC finals and World's playing stage and group stage. Unless they
yeah.
change something, I do feel like Sunning have the upper hand, and I did put Sunning first, like you did in the prediction. But I also like feel like this is what we're gonna see. I don't know 100%. You never do, but you know,
Sure, sure.
G2, they're a bit of a coin flip. Maybe not like 50-50, but they are the double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you with
Um,
us,
Let's
Happy,
let's
with the pick'ems for Group A?
I actually agree with the putting Sunning first. That's what I did actually. I feel
yeah.
like G2 in best of ones tend to, I don't know,
Troll a bit.
troll a bit, sometimes even fall apart. I
Yeah,
feel like they don't try enough because of their mentality as a team. They like to try hard when it matters.
yeah,
So I did put G2 second and Sunning first, but I do feel like Liquid might even take some games from G2 and Sunning.
yeah,
So this group for me is actually pretty interesting and really hard to predict. I feel
yeah,
like Machi is most of us are sleeping on Machi. I did hear a lot of good things about their team, and obviously we did see PSG that played actually pretty well,
Mhm.
and Machi are supposed to be even better than PSG. So I feel like most of the analysts they sleep on Machi because they don't know Machi as a team, and so do I. So
I
we'll have
mean,
to see.
I mean, PSG is kind of weird, because they had three subs, and you don't know if
Yeah,
they, and you don't know if they played better than the original players, or the original players are even better. So you don't know
yeah. You
what's going
actually
on there.
you actually have no indication about
That
this
it's
team.
nuclear fusion there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I do feel like the meta complements G2 a lot. I feel
mhm,
like the bot meta, I mean, the meta is about top side more of mid top jungle, and the bot side is kinda less important.
mhm.
And we did see Perks and Mickey actually have a lot of how do you say that? I,
Bad laning
I,
phase.
yeah, they had some bad games, and
They struggle a bit.
I remember Berg saying that dying 2v2 is really cringe, and he did die like at least 4 or 5 times against Fnatic in lane. So
Yeah. Like I think if we look back at the Fnatic G2, both series they had actually, we definitely saw that the Fnatic bot lane did have the upper hand, and at the end of the day, it did not matter because G2 ended up winning the finals.
Yeah,
Fnatic did win
pretty
the
pretty hard, pretty stompy
yeah.
yeah,
finals.
I mean, to be fair, it was the closest 3-0 you'll ever see. I think like both
Yeah, the
first and
games were
second
pretty
game.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, happy about the G2 mentality for the best of ones. Like, I think it was Wonder who tweeted, is there any good teams in our group? Like, they really have the mentality of we're the best and like wake me up when it's important. Um,
Yeah.
but we did see it bite them in the back a couple of times. So, yeah, definitely the hardest group to predict. I think it's like a big wild card thingy. I don't know.
What do you mean though? The hardest group to predict? I think maybe C is the hardest group to predict.
No, I think
No,
C is like the group of death, which with good teams. I think the reason it's harder to predict
no,
Group
you're
A
trolling.
is because of the coin flippiness of a lot of these teams, and like
But you
because
can
we don't
say
have
about
information.
you can say it about every team in every group.
Can
DRX
you though?
DRX is flippy though too, and no, maybe not about Group B, but
Yeah, Group B
other
is
groups.
pretty hard cut.
Yeah,
I think Group C
Group
is
B is pretty
also
doomed.
like Group C. I definitely think it would be the hardest group, but I also think like you can kind of know like okay, I'm sorry all the TSM fans like Tamir who's watching, but like we can probably guess that TSM will be last in that group, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, you said it, not me. But like, yeah, I do feel like Group A is like harder to predict because of that. Like
Tamil's
G
leaving.
two.
He said he's leaving.
No, Tamir, I'm sorry. Come back. And but like, yeah, Team Liquid, I think they really performed well in the planes, so I suddenly think highly of them. Like before the groups, like before planes, I wasn't sure if they even gonna make it out of planes because they were good teams in planes. So like I was kind of surprised, well, happily surprised with Tamir in the chat. I was happily surprised with their performances. So suddenly, like it changes everything. I did think going into planes that if they advance and get Group A, then it would be easy sunning a G2 get out of groups. Team Liquid and Match Esport don't. But after seeing, like you said, PSG play and also Team Liquid play, I think this team just got a hell of a lot more interesting.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So, shall we move on to Group B?
Sure.
That's gonna be pretty short, actually.
Yeah, probably. Happy, do you wanna take the initiative on that one?
Well, I feel like the only thing that you can predict in Group B is who's gonna be first.
Yeah.
Because Demon and JD Gaming are the obvious winners of this group. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think Rogue and PSG Talon has a chance in proceeding.
Yeah. That's
And
actually the group of death for me, really.
I feel
Yeah.
really bad for Rogue. I mean, this organization is pretty new and
Mhm.
they had a pretty good solid year.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? It's a group of death, and
You know,
you-
I follow Larson on Twitter and
Twitter.
Twitter, and he's feeling pretty confident. He's always tweeting that he's going to win this group easy and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's giving me false hype, I think.
Who's tweeting? Sorry, I missed that part. My brain blanked.
Well,
Larson.
Larson,
Larson.
the mid laner of Rogue.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, looking at Rogue Series versus G2, they took them to 5 game and they were pretty damn close to winning against G2 in the
Yeah,
loser
that's
bracket
true.
final match. So I agree with you that Damwon and JD are the clear favorites, and I have them both down in as first and second in my pick'ems. But
Me too.
I do believe like there is a small chance where Rogue get out of this group stage. Like again, we haven't seen teams play against each other from different regions, so we don't know. Maybe Europe has the best read on the metas right now, and they will come into the planes to the group stage. Sorry, and we'll just smurf on everyone, and we'll see G2, Rogue, and Fnatic playing out of their minds. And like, if we think that G2 are a contenders for the I don't know top 5 teams in this tournament, seeing how Rogue play against them, you should definitely keep it in mind that they might show up and surprise expectations in this Group B, which is heavily stacked against their favors. Like JD Gaming and Damwang are just like so good.
Yeah.
But like I
Yeah.
think we can all agree that we put PSG fourth, right? Like
Yeah.
even though
as
they,
a
yeah,
as a Euphoria European fan, I'm always going for the European teams.
yeah.
So hopefully we're gonna finish third and PSG fourth.
So you don't like you're going for you're rooting for the European team, but you put them
Of
third and
course.
not second.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's Demon and JD Gaming.
It's
Yeah, I
two of
know.
the favorites for the whole tournament, not only
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
group. Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, this is a really interesting world as a general. Like, SKTT1 didn't qualify, C9 didn't qualify, RNG didn't qualify. Like FPX from last year,
FPX, IG.
yeah,
IG.
a lot of big names did not qualify to Worlds. So
But TSM did.
yeah, TSM did.
Finally, after how many years? Three,
Yeah,
four?
it was
I
a
think
long
3 years.
time.
3 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like this world is gonna be a banger, I think. But moving on to Group C, we have Fnatic, LGD, Genji, and TSM. I had to put Fnatic on first as a Fnatic fanboy.
It's our group. It's our group. Yeah. Fnatic
Yeah,
first, definitely.
like it is
Um.
my pick'em. It's not not necessarily my predictions, but yeah, Fnatic first. I have to go with them.
Yeah. Me too.
Wait. So it's your pick, but what would
Yeah.
you predict if you
I
did
would
not?
predict. I didn't watch much LCK, so I don't know how much Genji are improved. I mean, so I don't really know their strength. But I did watch much LPL and LCS, so I know TSM and LGD. I think Fnatic at their peak are better than both TSM and LGD. I don't know about Genji, but I heard that they play around Ruler and they are really bot focused team. So, and it's not really the meta right now. So I think that they might take first play Genji, but uh, I will go with Fnatic even in my predictions. Yeah. And Genji second. Yeah.
I had a
Okay.
hard time deciding between Genji and LGD, because while LGD did seem to have a bad start, they did ramp up to in the end of the planes with the both 3-0 series, and they looked convincing at the end there, at least for me. So I had a bit of a hard time ranking them against Genji because, like, the last couple of worlds, we did see um, Korea as a region stumble and LPL and Europe rise.
Yeah.
So I end up putting LGD ahead of Genji. I'm not sure if it's the correct call. Like I might be trolling here, but like it's a hard prediction to make because we don't have a lot of information about how these teams will stack up against each other. I feel like I did put Fnatic first. I think a lot of it will come down to how Healy-Sang will play and how Selfmade will play. A lot of the wins they did have was from Healy-Sang doing godly plays, and he gets a lot of hate. I feel like, and some of it is undeserved. Like someone has to go for the plays, right? Someone have to go and face tank and make the plays, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like when they lose, he gets flamed. But when they win, he doesn't get a lot of the credit. A lot of it goes to Selfmade, to Reckless, to whoever, right? But a lot of it does come down to Healy-Sang just really making it a hard lane for people to play. And like we talked, the analyst talked about it in the series against
For
G2 where they won the
for,
semis.
for both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, and and like the games that they won, like when Healy-Sang just randomly walked to stop the recall, and they got the kills from that, and then
Yeah.
they transitioned into Herald, if I'm not mistaken. Like, if you say Genji are
Contradictor.
playing heavy bot side, I definitely think they can win. Like Fnatic can make it a hard game for them, and I think Fnatic can get the best of them,
For sure.
and as well as LGD. So like, I am going with Fnatic first, but I'm biased. I'm biased.
That's my pick and my predictions. I think that Fnatic will be first, but I will not be surprised if Genji will take first. I will be surprised if LGD will get out this group though, with the performance they showed.
Happy, what do you
I,
think as a not biased person?
well, I did change my pick'em for this group this morning. Yesterday I did put Fnatic first and Genji second. But this morning I read a post that says, Nomans from Unicorns,
Yeah.
the mid laner. He did say that he did put Fnatic fourth in this group, because he has, I don't know, some inside information that Fnatic has a lot of problems in the team.
Okay.
Not game wise. I mean, they are doing pretty okay in scrims, but the team environment is pretty bad. Like it used to be in the last words, I think, with Brox and Reckless. There used to be some sort of a beef. I know, but
I think it was more of a meme by the internet than anything else. But yeah, there was like the talk about Reckless and Broxa fighting, and that's the reason that Broxa left. They did like both of them tweet that they are good friends, and it's not real, but maybe yeah.
so yeah, I heard there's, I know, round two of some sort of a beef in the team.
Okay.
So it kind of changed my prediction actually. My new prediction is Genji first and LGD second. I did
Oh,
put Fnatic third and TSM fourth. I feel
that's
like
interesting.
I mean, usually it's really it happens a lot with Reckless that he has problems with his teammates. I mean, he is a consistent player and he is a good ADC, but it's not the first time that we hear that there's a team environment problem that might. I feel like it might involve Reckless again. So we gotta see
I
what's gonna
mean,
happen.
to be fair, I heard like Reckless talk about it and like people thinking that he has problem with people, but from his perspective and from what I heard him say, he's just like in general a quiet person, and like people sometimes think it means that he doesn't like XYZ, but usually he just like is quiet and is focusing on his own game. And like from what I see from the videos Fnatic produce of their team activities, they look fine to me. I mean, something might have happened during the quarantine and all the travel to China, but I wouldn't put a lot of weight in the tweets and the like whatever people say, because this team has a lot of resources, and like they have the gaming therapist or whatever it's called. Like I feel they have enough resources to not let a beef between players be the reason they lose. I might be wrong, but like I do feel like they should come into these games united as a team. And like I don't know, I didn't see the tweet. I don't know what's going on there, but I do feel like they should perform well coming in. And like Street Jimmy said regarding Hillisang, like they keep him in the team because they have respect for him, they appreciate him, and like he's good. Reckless, as you said, Happy, he's been playing for a while now. He's a solid player. I think Selfmade showed us he's a really good jungler in the last couple of games that they had in the series versus G2. And Wipo, well, you can say he's sometime eating. I think like he usually plays weak side of the map, and I think in the series versus G2 he did perform well. He was
Yeah.
a lot of times respecting the enemy top laner and the possibility of a dive and escaping a lot of tricky situations that we used to see him getting caught by. So I definitely we think we're gonna see the best of Fnatic that we've seen in a while now. Uh, and that's why I do think they will advance out of this group stage. But you know, you never know.
Yeah.
I do hope they will advance from this group. I feel like the more European teams in the playoffs, the better.
Yeah,
And
The more the merrier.
yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's European pride, right? We don't support the the individual teams, we support the region. And I mean, if it's gonna come down to Fnatic versus G2 or Rogue, obviously I'm gonna support Fnatic. But whoever's like, if Rogue or G2 is going to get to the finals, I will be behind them 100% supporting the region, because like we want to see Europe take a win here. I think like
Yeah.
every European fan does.
I feel like this year it's got to be a miracle, because last year I did believe G2 might take it all, but I feel like this year we are significantly weaker than China, and might even from Korea, because them one looks so damn good.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's
But
because of Corona and the games being from home most of the time, or is it unrelated?
I feel like the meta does not complement any of the EU junglers.
Mhm.
The farm heavy Nidalee.
except for self-made, I think,
Yes,
because of
Yeah.
self-made might shine here with this with this Evelyn and Nidalee. He might
Hecarim.
Graves,
Yeah.
Sekarim. Yeah,
Yeah.
he might actually pop off, but Yankos and Inspired usually play the sets, the Sejuanis, the tanks that we didn't see any of them in the planes.
Hmm.
yeah.
Michael, you wanted to say something?
No, we can go to Group D, I think.
Just final touch on Yan, because like you said, he plays the Sejuani set, but like he always complain about playing the Sejuanis and the sets, or maybe not the set, but like definitely the Sejuani. So
It,
I think they
it became a
might
meme.
be, yeah, it became a meme. I think they might be holding something up their sleeves with the Yankos, because he's a great player and he loves being the aggressive, being the, like he was named the first Blood King for a while, always making the aggressive plays. So I wouldn't count him out. I think they might be holding something up their sleeves, especially that they have this entire playing stage to craft something new and train on it during the scrims. So, while I agree with you, like from what we've seen previously, the meta does not complement what the European jungler does. I think if the teams going into these games are doing their homework and working and looking what worked in planes, they can definitely make changes in time to make sure that they get out of groups and maybe even win. And I think this year, while I do agree with you, like most of the teams from Europe don't look as good as they did previous years, I still think we have a chance, because I think all of the teams have a hard year, and you never know what's gonna happen, because it's the first time this entire year that the players are actually sitting together to play the match like they used to before. So maybe it will
Yeah.
be some sort of a buff for Fnatic, for G2, for even for the other teams like DRX, who had been, a little bit underperforming, so sort of to speak. So yeah, I do think G2, Fnatic, and Rogue have a chance. Well, G2 and Fnatic mostly. But yeah, it is gonna be a tougher year than previous ones. I do think so. So yeah, let's go for Group D. Happy, do you want to take the lead on that one?
Yeah, I'll start. Group D is another change that I did this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and I was like, yeah, I got the incarnation. Now I know who's gonna win.
An epiphany.
So I did change. Obviously, top esports are first in this group for
Yeah,
me.
For sure, yes.
I think it's a
Um,
no-brainer to
yeah.
putting them there.
Now I did put DRX second. Until I did change it this morning. Unicorn. I put Unicorns of Love second and DRX third. I did my research on DRX. They didn't look so good in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the meta does not complement their players, and I think Unicorns of Love might have some, I don't know, secret strats and some picks that might change this whole pick'em and all this whole group.
Unicorns drafts actually to under the queue. Really, they
Yeah,
always draft so good, and really
Yeah.
they have answer to everything.
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Mad
Yeah.
Lions did play against Supermassive, and they just couldn't figure out what should they play against the set mid. that
Yeah.
what's his name played Bolulu,
Yeah, Balulu.
but Unicorns just took the vein, and obviously you could see that No Names had. I mean, he wasn't so mechanically clean on Vayne, but it was such a good pick against the set mid, and he did win this
Against
game.
their old team, they always play some sort of three tanks
Yeah,
and
it's a lot of tanks and
Cacao
what's her
and
name?
Zeitnot.
Cacao and Lilia. Yeah, Cacao and
Yeah,
Lilia, and Zeitnot on some sort of hyper carry, like
yeah,
Caitlyn or I don't know. And they figured this out pretty fast in the draft, and they won the games. And I'm actually proud of Unicorns. I'm happy they actually got into groups finally after years that Shippy, their coach, tried so hard,
Yeah.
and a deserved win. And I'm really looking forward to see them play
Mhm.
this group. I do think FlyQuest are the weakest team by far. I feel like especially
They're
solo.
definitely the underdogs.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
feel like Solo is the weakest link in the team, and I mean it's not always his fault. They do play usually bot mid side, and
yeah. He's
they
playing
throw
the
him
weak
on
side.
they throw him on his island, and usually good teams tend to dive him a lot and kill him. Um, I feel like FlyQuest are almost 100% the fourth team in this group, in my opinion.
Vagabond, do you agree?
I think so as well. My pick'ems are exactly like Happy's.
Yeah, I did
Okay,
put Unicorns third and DRX second, but like I agree with you that they might be different, seeing how Unicorns played. Yeah.
Yeah, Unicorn second for me too.
imagine how hype it's gonna be if Unicorns of
If
Love get out of groups.
yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
I
it's
have a
going to be
friend.
insane.
I have a friend who's a hardcore Unicorns fan. He's gonna be ecstatic if they get out of the groups here.
I
I
mean,
think everyone will.
Unicorns. I mean, Unicorns is such a lovely organization. I mean, you
Hmm.
can't hate on them. You just can't.
Yeah, especially when they give
So
you good games.
yeah, and usually their games are so fun to watch. Even
Hmm.
when they were in the promotion to the LCS, the ULCS, like
Hmm.
5 years ago,
Um,
they had
sounds about
the
right.
Udir picks, the
It
old
was
Poppy
Kikis back then,
picks.
right?
Yeah, Kikis
Yeah.
with the
Oh, also
blessed
they did
burst
Nard
lamp.
Jungler, Nard Jungle when Nard just got
Yeah,
released or
and the
something.
Twisted Fate jungle, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I mean, they had I don't know. This team's mentality is actually so fun.
Yeah.
And even if it's not the same players, it's still the same mentality. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited
Mhm.
for this group.
I
Me too.
kind of feel bad
For
for
Unicorns
FlyQuest.
especially.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for FlyQuest because I really like the organization. The whole thing that they did with the planting trees for every XY that
Yeah.
happens, I really liked it. And regardless, like I think they were playing well in the LCS. They did get the second seed, so like technically they should be better than Team Liquid, but I think like the house they got drafted into is really hard, and um, I do agree that Team Liquid did show us better games in the planes. So I feel bad for FlyQuest because I want to see them perform well. I want to see them get out of groups, but I just don't think it's a reality when you're with top esports, DRX, and Unicorns of Love. And like I think Riot just released a video that talking about uh, FlyQuest being the underdogs and they're hungry for the wins or whatever. But like I understand they're hungry for wins and getting out of groups. It's just gonna be such a hard job for them, like almost impossible. You never know, and things can go like last year. RNG didn't make it out of groups, and nobody expected that. So you
Yeah.
know maybe, but
Upsets are always exciting.
yeah,
So
I wanna like honestly, if you give me the perfect result for Group D, it's gonna be FlyQuest and Unicorns of Love advancing, and top esports and DRX being third and fourth. So like, I wanna see
Imagine
them
that
getting out.
happened.
Yeah, imagine if that happened. But like Ted is just saying in the chat, like the FlyQuest probably won't make it out of groups. Not with that attitude, at least.
It's all about the attitude, Teddy. Remember,
Yeah.
it's all about the attitude.
So like I'm keeping my eyes out for Group D. While I do think it is the like top esport should 100% be first. Like I'm
Yeah.
keeping my eyes out for that group. Maybe we see some upsets. I am hoping for upsets, except for Group C where I want Fnatic to win 100%. Like the other groups, I'm down for upsets.
Upsets are fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely are. Well, do you have anything final you want to say? Because we are nearing the hour mark where we should end the podcast here for today. So, any final thoughts, things you want to share?
No, I had a really great time talking with you
Yeah,
guys.
it was a
Yeah,
blast. Thank you for joining.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll join again for
yeah.
this podcast.
So, the games are tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central European Time, which is 11 a.m. for us local time. I don't know what it is for you guys watching, but I'm definitely gonna be watching it. If not live, then the VODs if I'm asleep or something. But yeah, I'm watching out for the games, and yeah, we'll see each other again. Maybe if you wanna come to the show again after the planes or later during the worlds in the podcast, I'm definitely happy to have you again. Happy and Vagabond. It's a joke. Um, but yeah, I think this world is gonna be very interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you all. Well, I'm get like the games should be. Let me just check it. The games are tomorrow, and then 3 days after that, right? Like
Really? No, wait.
no, like the first
No,
half
it's
of it. Fourth, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then the 8th. Yeah, so there's a break between the 6th and the 8th of October. So maybe during the 7th we'll have a podcast again.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking right now. And then again at the end of group stage, which will be October 12th. So yeah, something like that. So I'm guessing around the 7th of October will be the next podcast. Um, after like we finish the first half of the group stage.
Hmm.
So, Vagabond Happy, thank you very much for joining me for this first episode of the Virax Worlds Talk.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
Thank
everyone
us.
you.
for watching. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you are listening to this not live, then be sure to join on the 7th of October when we do the next show after the first half of group stage. And yeah, I'm gonna upload it to wherever I can. So if you missed something, check it out. And I'll see you all in about a week. Or no, a bit less, but yeah. So thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next time. Bye bye.